Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I am kind of gonna share with you guys like an update as to where I am in my recovery. Something that I believe in having this channel is being transparent with you guys and not really trying to sugarcoat or hide what I might be going through. I think there's already enough of that in social media today, of people like using social media as a platform to filter what their life is actually like, and I don't want to be one of those people. So I want to be as transparent as I can, and also to help anyone that might be going through the same thing I'm going through in this moment, and letting them know that you're not alone and that you're going to be okay. So I figured maybe I'll just share that with you, and then also kind of document and show you guys what I'm eating today and what I'm doing. I woke up around 7:30 this morning and it's like 11:15ish right now. So I already had breakfast and I'm kind of making lunch right now because I'm kind of hungry right now actually. But I had like my typical smoothie bowl with frozen bananas, blueberries, peanut butter. I added maca powder to help with like hormone balancing, so that's why I put that in there. And I just added some almond milk and I blended that together, and I topped it with some chocolate chips and some of the granola that I made from Ellen Fisher's ebook. I can leave the link down to her ebook below, but I used the omega granola mix that she makes in her ebook that her most recent ebook. Right now for lunch I'm making a bagel pizza. I haven't made one of them in a while, and the idea just came in my head to make one, and to be honest, like kind of nervous for how it's gonna come out, but I'm excited at the same time. So I will show you how that turns out. Okay, so this is how they came out. In them I have, well, it's just a bagel, and then I have the tomato sauce. I put some of the smoky tempeh that I made earlier this week, and then I put this vegan cheese. I'm not sure of the brand. I don't really remember it, but hold on, I'll show you what the brand is. Okay. So it's this Bio Life mozzarella sheds. It is dairy-free, lactose-free, soy-free, gluten-free, and nut-free. So if you're vegan and you're allergic to nuts, then that's a good cheese to use, I guess. Okay, so now I am feeling refreshed after my cycle class, and I'm going to give you guys a recovery update. I think my recovery, or my timeline of recovery in the past 4 months has been very sporadic. I feel like it's declined and then gone up for a brief moment and then declined a little bit again, and right now I'm on that stretch where I'm slowly working my way back up. But it all started, I have like some notes on my phone because like it's a story. So basically I was doing really good after college. I mean, not after college, before college. In the summer I was seeing my therapist, my dietitian, and everything was going really well. I didn't really have many negative lingering thoughts about being inadequate. I wasn't really having trouble comparing anymore. In eating situations I was fine. If I had to challenge myself though, it was maybe a little bit of a struggle, but nowhere as bad. I was hanging out with friends more, didn't really have a problem with that. My relationship with exercise was good. And yeah, I wasn't really struggling. There was no signs of struggle really. And then I started college, and at first it was going well. I joined a sorority and it was good. I was hanging out and meeting new people. I was going out with a lot. Well, not going out a lot, but like going out to like, in terms of like going out to eat, I was going out a lot, like with friends, and I was proud of myself because I noticed like how much I had improved. Like I wasn't really fussing over like what we were eating. Like I was actually just seeing food as fuel and not really labeling it as good or bad. And it was a really good maybe month or two of really feeling what recovery is like, and like being independent and being in college, being reliable, and stuff like that. And then around October, I was no longer seeing my therapist. There was really, like, I had noticed over the months, like there was a lot of miscommunication, and I just felt like we couldn't really rely on each other anymore. So as hard as it was, I stopped seeing them. And since then I was without a therapist. Up until a bit recent, I was without a therapist. And I think that was one of the major reasons my mental health was declining in the past couple months. But not only that, I felt like being in a sorority and being in college, there was a lot of lingering thoughts of being inadequate, being different from other people, and just feeling intimidated by a lot of people at school. Not just at school, but also through social media as well, which I'll get into in a second. But I felt going in, I was an exploratory major, and I still am an exploratory major. Well, it's kind of like undecided, so I'm not really a major, but I'm still exploratory, and I think that frustrates me a lot because I feel that I don't really have anything figured out yet. I don't know what I want to do in college. I have vague ideas, but I'm not 100% keen on knowing if that's how life's gonna have me live, if I'm gonna do that job in the future, or if I'm not. And that's given me a lot of anxiety over that, and I think that was because I'm a very controlling person, and I'm working on it. That's what recovery is all about. But I really love to know what the outcome is. I'm very black and white when it comes to that kind of stuff, where if I don't know the outcome, I'm most likely not gonna do it, or I get really frustrated and anxious when I don't know how everything's going to work out. And college is a giant ball of gray. It's not black or white. It's literally like things change, things are gonna happen, and nothing is 100% certain. So I definitely underestimated the power of what college life was going to be like, not just academically, but socially and mentally and emotionally. And that definitely set me going down. And then I got in a really dark place in October, like towards the end of October. I fell into it because I began living my life for other people instead of for myself, and it just left me feeling really miserable because I noticed that I was doing things for the sake of other people and not genuinely because I wanted to do it. I was changing the way I was acting. I felt like I was changing minor things just to appease people, and I got into a really dark place, and I didn't really think I was ever going to be able to get out of it. And thank goodness I did get out of it. I had seen a psychiatrist on campus a couple weeks later, and I talked to him a lot about it, and I made some breakthroughs, and I was able to put a label on the voice that was always telling me I wasn't good enough. And talking to him really helped me reclaim that voice and remember that that voice is also my own voice, so I can control it. It's not just some voice floating around in my head that I can't control. So talking to him about it and talking to him about like my past, like how I'm feeling, really helped me. And that set me on a path throughout November where I was actually pretty good. It was a different kind of good than the good I was in August. In August, I felt like it was more materialistic. Like I was fine in social situations. I was fine in eating out, like exercise, feeling okay in my body, stuff like that. And then this kind of feel good was very spiritual. Like I felt more connected to my spiritual self. I was definitely listening to a lot more gospel music and just spiritual binaural beats, like spiritual music, uplifting music, and that really helped me. And I was also doing yoga and attempting meditation. I still am attempting meditation, but those things, focusing on working on the inside, really helped. And then what happened was I was doing really well, like on point. And then I went home for Thanksgiving break, and I feel like that point was very pivotal in the downfall that I had been experiencing these past couple weeks. And what happened was I've always had this comparison with my family members. And when I had found out that they were doing something that I wasn't going to be a part of in regards to like exercise, I was very hurt that they, one, avoided talking to me about it for a while, and two, like didn't consider me. When I felt that, when I heard what was happening, a part of me was looking at this as a challenge to, rather than feel like life has to be a competition, to be able to step back and support the people that I care about rather than constantly trying to one-up them. But in that instant, I didn't see it that way. I was very wound up. I was very angry. I was saying things not out of love, but out of anger and frustration, and taking it out on them because I could not control their actions. And that made me realize that I have a control issue. I've always had a control issue, but it reminded me that there's still so much that I have not yet healed, and I'm nowhere near 100% recovered, but that's okay. It was very hard to go about my day, especially being at home, and be comfortable seeing people in my family exercise and train and be active, and me just being like trying to do my own thing, but also at the same time feeling like, oh, they did that, so I have to like do the same thing. And so that's what I've been kind of working on, is kind of being comfortable in my own space, and rather than feeling like I have to do what everyone else is doing, to be comfortable and confident and knowing that I know my body and what my body needs in the moment. And if she needs a rest day, if she needs to do yoga instead of go for a run or do a body exercise or strength workout, then she's gonna do what she needs to do. So that's something I'm definitely still working on. It is extremely hard right now, but I'm not gonna give up on that. I'm still going to do my best.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No, try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
It's hard to even say it because I don't want to admit that it's an issue, but I know it's an issue, like deep down. And I know, like, if I have to ask myself, like, how I'm able to tell this is an issue is that if I ask myself, would I, or could I see myself having to do this every single day for the rest of my life? no. So if this isn't something I'd want to do forever, then I'm not in my balanced zone yet, if that makes any sense. So out of frustration with that, in addition to college, I fell into a really dark place a couple days ago, and I'm gonna be honest, like these past 2 weeks I've had like a lot of meltdowns. I think I've like cried more in the past 2 days or couple days than I have in the past year, and I think that's crazy, but honestly I think I'm shedding a lot of negative energy that I'm no longer needing as I embark on this like new recovery journey of letting all of it go. And something that has helped me stick through with that is turning to scripture. I never thought I would be one to promote the Bible or reading scripture or anything like that, because I've never considered myself a very religious person. I've always been very more spiritual, and then I believe in a higher power, but nothing like too specific. But I understand for a while I cut out any higher power whatsoever, like whether it be God, Mother Earth, spirits, ancestors, anything. I just shut them out. Like I had said in my head, I am so deep in this, I'm stuck like this forever. I feel like nothing's ever gonna change and no one can help me. Not even the higher power, not even God can help me. So there's no point in asking for help. And I think that that has been a major setback in my recovery, because in regards to feeling out of control, I no longer use food as a controlling mechanism. So that used to be what I would turn to, and no longer having that to turn to leaves me feeling desperate, it leaves me feeling helpless, it leaves me feeling really horrible. And that's what makes me fall into that really negative, deep space. And lately when I've been reading scripture and I've been reading some parts of the Bible, it's kind of helped me, rather than feel so helpless and hopeless in those moments, to turn to those scriptures and read them and give my fear and anxiety to that, whether put my energy and all my anxiety into that scripture and just give it up to a higher power and release it rather than hold on to it and let it weigh me down. I can tell in the past 2 days that that has been something that has helped me a lot, and I will definitely leave a couple of my recent favorite scriptures down below in the description box, but those are some of the ones that I've been reading a lot, and I've been trying to memorize them so I can bring them up in like whenever, like if I'm out and about and something makes me anxious, like I have something to say to myself that'll help me like calm down and like refocus. But those have been really helpful for me lately, and I can definitely tell that I'm trying to make it to a higher place and a better place than I was these past couple of weeks, and just to finally heal and accept and embrace healing, no matter what that might look like or feel like. And I think what I've been continuing to remind myself is that if I continue to put my worth in physical standards or numbers or anything like that, I'm running a race that I'm never gonna win and I'm never gonna finish, because society and society's standards and what we perceive to be reality is constantly changing, and that means that there's never going to be one ideal that's perfect forever. So why continue to chase something that you're never going to be able to catch up with? I don't know, that made so much more sense in my head. But I think what's important for people to remember, especially in recovery and just in general, is that in using like social media as a platform, I think using social media is amazing because it provides connection and the ability to meet people and to find people that you can look up to and aspire to, follow in their footsteps, and just look to for motivation and encouragement. However, I think it becomes a problem when we base people's accomplishments, and when we use those people's accomplishments and as a way to undermine our own and where we are in our lives. And that's a huge problem, because what we all need to understand is that everything that we are meant to embrace, everything that we are meant to go through is in our lives for a reason, and what is meant for us will present itself to us in divine timing. Maybe it's not at the same time as who you look up to. Maybe it's 10 years later, but who knows, maybe you'll bring even more insight than that person ever had, and you might be even more successful because you've had 10 years more of experience and knowledge, investing your time in what you one day would want to accomplish. And I think, again, putting your trust in that is key, and that's definitely, again, what I'm trying to do in my own recovery journey. Again, everything's based on giving up control. So something I've been trying to do is give up control. Like, honestly, like, screw the New Year's resolution, I have to do it right now. Like, starting today and starting yesterday, actually, like, I'm giving up trying to control everything in my life. Like, if something happens, something comes up, I'm not going to try and bottle it up and manipulate it into a way that feels safe for me. I'm going to accept what's presented in front of me, whether I perceive it as a challenge or as something that I can learn something from, and just go through it with an open mind and trust that my spirits and my guides are looking out for me. They're always looking out for everyone. They're looking out for you, and what is meant for you is going to come to you. You just have to be open and positive about it. So that's my little recovery update. I don't really have much else that's going on, but I am really excited to be sharing more videos with you guys, and I will let you know what I have for dinner. I am not sure what I'm gonna have for dinner yet, but I don't know, I'm trying to think, but I want to try and cook something different, so if I do, I'll let you know.